Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and WWE main event for the week of December the 9th, 2019. Got birthdays from December 8th through the 10th. Michael Cole, he was born 1968, same age as I am. Jimmy Rave, 1982. Enzo Amore, 1986. December 9th, Stephen Dunn from old school WWE. He was born 1960. On the 9th, also Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, 1968. Also, same age. I'm older than he is, actually, by 2 months. S.A. Rios was born on the 10th, 1978. And JTG rounding out the birthdays for December 10th and 1984. Not as old. WWE held another round of tryouts at the WWE Performance Center this past week in Orlando, and more than 40 individuals attended, and WWE released a complete list of who showed up. Pierre Balquot, 6'8", 265-pounder from Belgium with experience as a IFBB bodybuilder and boxing instructor. Will Brooks, a former Bellator MMA lightweight champion with UFC experience, who currently competes in the Professional Fighters League. Jesse Bush, a referee with 7 years of in-ring experience from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Zach Carpinello, a.k.a. Zach Clayton, 6'3", 245-pound wrestler from New Jersey, who appeared on MTV's Jersey Shore as number 24. Anthony Katina of Florida, who trained at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy and has competed for independent promotions like Chaotic Wrestling and Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. 6'5", 295-pound Nigel Carlton, a 4-year starter as a defensive lineman for Hampton University with experience as a decorated high school wrestler in his home state of Virginia. Michael Crandall, a former defensive end for Robert Morris University, a Pittsburgh native, competes on the independent scene as Duke Davis. Michael Evans, no, not the guy from Good Times, but brother of JJ, Kip Dynamite, a 26-year-old athlete from Massachusetts who stands 6'5" and weighs 247 pounds. He competed on season 1 of NBC's Titan Games with The Rock. Stephen Felger, a referee from Florida who works for the World Wrestling Network family of promotions. Stefan and Tomei Filipovsky, brothers, a tag team from Australia who trained at the PCW Academy and have competed around the world as the Natural Classics. 24-year-old Stephen Gerard of Illinois wrestles under the name of Stephen Wolf for promotions like Evolve Wrestling. Clifford Fortune, 270-pound power lifter who played Division I football at Norfolk State University. Cambrell Gomez, a former football player at Adams State University who also holds the shot put and discus strike records for the country of Belize. Miles Grooms, a 6'3", 250-pound former college football player at Hampton University with Canadian Football League experience. Nicholas Harmon, a.k.a. the Dark Horse, Nick Coulter on the indie scene, an 11-year veteran of Square Circle. Anthony Henry, a wrestler with 13 years of experience. Henry competed against NXT superstar Arturo Ruas on WWE Network during the Evolve Wrestling's 10th anniversary celebration this past summer. Christopher Hayward III, 6'2", 354-pound wrestler who competes under the name of Calvin Tankman. 30-year-old Gary Jones of Pennsylvania, who has semi-pro football experience and wrestles as Gannon Jones Jr. on the independent circuit. Lauren David Jones of Flint, Michigan, who trained at the House of Truth and competes as Palmer Cruz. He once faced the Brian Kendrick on 205 Live. Matthew Knotts, a 300-pound Florida native who trained for the Square Circle with WWF Hall of Famers the Dudley Boys and Billy Gunn. Ariel Levy, a pro wrestler with 3 years of experience on the independent scene in his hometown country of Chile. Wonder if he's any kin to Scott Levy, formerly also known as Raven. But Raven's not from Chile, so that's probably a no. Kasher Mirzai, also known as King Cash, a 5-year veteran of the ring with overseas experience in Japan Pro Wrestling 01. Ping Mole, a 6'4", 280-pound Utah native who played college football at UNLV and has spent 4 years as a Hollywood stuntman. Olamide Oganek, a 250-pound bodybuilder and powerlifter from Cleveland. Roman Roselle, a 35-year-old retired Green Beret who walks up to the wrestling team at Arizona State University. Brandon and Trent Tate, 27-year-old identical twins from Tennessee. They'll probably get them to sign them. Twin Magic, like the Bella Twins. The two have been wrestling for 10 years, most notably for Ring of Honor, where they were known as the Boys. Isaiah Williams, a New Jersey native who was a 3-year starter at wide receiver for the University of Maryland. He also experienced with 6 NFL teams. Victoria Andriella, a graduate of the Creative Pro Wrestling School in New Jersey. I think that's with Kurt Hawkins and his partner. Jennifer Mitchell Cantu Iglesias, 23-year-old champion powerlifter from Mexico. Chinese Chase, a 7-time All-American athlete at LSU, where she holds the second fastest time in school history in the 400-meter hurdles. She also represented Canada in the 2016 Olympics in Rio. 21-year-old Lauren Dodds of London, a competitive bodybuilder with the experience in pro powerlifting. Christine Hartman, an Orlando native who was a 3-year starter in volleyball at the University of Kentucky. Ariel Howard, 22-year-old Mississippi native who played basketball and ran track for Texas A&M and Mississippi and was chosen in this year's WNBA draft. Irina Janjic, a former trainee of Lance Storm who has been wrestling in Japan for the past 7 years, competing for promotions like Sendai Girls and Stardom. Rebecca Janjigan, an independent wrestler from Texas who competes under the name of Chrissy Janes throughout the United States and Mexico. Kara Lazauskas, an amateur MMA fighter who has competed on NBC's Titan Games. That's the one that Rock hosts. Alexandra Mozeletsky, 25-year-old bodybuilder who has traveled to the United States to own her craft in the Square Circle, competes under the name of Alex Sky. Laney Nations, an MMA fighter with experience in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and catch wrestling. Rachel O'Leary, a black belt in Taekwondo with experience in kickboxing and Muay Thai. Ebony Payne, a Georgia native who is currently a firefighter. Jessica Roden, a 27-year-old athlete from California who started training for the ring earlier this year. Arissa LeBrock, the daughter of Kelly LeBrock and Steven Seagal, professional model from California with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for training, just like her daddy. Elaine Simon, an Orlando native with 7 years of experience in the Square Circle. Aja Smith, a 25-year-old who has been competing on the Indies for 6 years under the name of Aja Pereira. More news later on. I think I got some videos of at least 5 of them, training and what have you. But the WWE Network reports a new Table for 3 coming to the network after Raw. At this link, The episode is called Table for Three Impactful Reunion, featuring WWE Hall of Famers Jeff Jarrett, Hall of Famer Sting, and AJ Styles. Some TNA footage will also be shown during the show, and that's an official preview for the episode. It wasn't a full video. Sting, Jeff Jarrett, and AJ reflect on their illustrious sports entertainment past and the impact they had on the industry. Batista will be the guest star on Tuesday, Running Wild, with Bear Grylls on Nat Geo. In the series, Grills take celebrities out to different locations to test their limits on an adventure. Very similar to Stone Cold's thing. Batista and Grills will be traveling through Horseshoe Bend, Arizona. And a preview at this link for the impactful reunion of Table for Three, which premieres on the WWE Network after Raw went off the air. The episode will feature AJ Styles talking with Hall of Famers Sting, Jeff Jarrett, and their careers, including their runs with TNA and Impact Wrestling. The preview clip featured AJ, Sting, and Jarrett talking about pros and cons of six-sided ring using Impact. Two different video links. Sunday's episode of NCIS from Sunday night, Los Angeles, now available at this link on the CBS All Access app. Also noted, the episode features Shane McMahon reprising his reprising role as Army CID Special Agent Steve Evans, character that debuted this past May. The WWE tweeted stills from the episode. I gave you that link for that. Braun still currently out of action with an injury. This is why he wasn't on Raw this week. And thanks to the results from F4W Online. Strowman missed Sunday's WWE Live event in Jacksonville, Florida, and he was to face WWE Universal Champion The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in the main event. Drew McIntyre ended up replacing Strowman for a loss to The Fiend. Raw talent. It was noted how word going around is that Strowman is suffering from back spasms, but the official word is a sore hip that he is expected to be back in action in a few days. Strowman lost to The Fiend at the recent Starrcade event and participated in a 15-man match at Survivor Series in late November. No word yet on when he will be back in action, but it sounds like he could be back as soon as Friday SmackDown. But WWE has not announced Strowman for a TLC match for Sunday. Also noted, WWE announced on Monday that Batista and the NWO, Hulk Hogan, Shawn Walkman, X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall will be the headliners for the 2020 Hall of Fame class. Batista took to Twitter on Monday and revealed that he has requested Fit Finlay to be his Hall of Fame inductor. In read embedded by Teeds, the animal revealed the request when responding to a tweet on who should induct him, mentioning names like Triple H, Randy Orton, plus WWE Hall of Famers Ric Flair and Devon Dudley. He wrote, "I owe a lot to all those names mentioned and many more, but for personal reasons, I have personally requested that at RingFox1 induct me into the hashtag WWHOF. I'm sure that anyone who knows Fit Finlay will not question my request." 2020 Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place Thursday, April the 2nd, on 2020, from the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, during WrestleMania 36 weekend. Sami Zayn noted during this week's Raw that his WWE managerial license is also allowing him to work the SmackDown and Raw brands. Sami appeared in a segment with Mojo Rawley on Monday as his mouthpiece, going up against Kevin Owens. The segment ended with Mojo taking a steel pipe beat down from Owens, but it looks like Sami could be working with Mojo moving forward. Sami has been managing WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro on the Blue brand. I haven't noticed him with Cesaro, but definitely Shinsuke. Matt Hardy was back on WWE TV again this week for the second time in a row. Since April, after losing a fairly quick match to Buddy Murphy on Raw On November 25th, Hardy was defeated in another one-sided match by Drew McIntyre on Raw. And also, if you haven't heard, Matt and his wife, Ruby Sky Hardy, has a new son, the third son. Hardy's contract is reportedly up in late February 2020. PW Insider recently reported that the biggest point of contention in contract negotiations is how will be used creatively going forward. The two sides are reportedly not that far apart on the final aspects of a new deal. Following his loss to McIntyre, Hardy took to Twitter and noted that his countdown to Arcadia has begun. Still in my #Raw slump, I'm sorry. More atonement, apparently. Hardy tweeted earlier, followed by another post where he wrote, I know the slump and losses won't last forever. My countdown to Arcadia has begun. I will show up and do my job. We'll get past this together. I received so much love, support, and sympathy tonight from the most vocal audience. Without you, there is no me. Thank you all. WWE announced on Sunday that 4 superstars have been granted their releases. Luke Harper, Sin Cara, Connor, and Victor of the Ascension. WWE just announced that the NWO and Batista for the 2020 Hall of Fame. Posted that one twice. The following matches are advertised for WWE TLC pay-per-view that will be held on December 15th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This coming Sunday at Target Center. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin in a TLC match. Universal Champion The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Miz. Big E and Kofi Kingston, The New Day versus Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder for the SmackDown tag titles. There's no indication as to whether Wyatt versus Miz match for the Universal Championship. Local advertising has been updated with the switch of Reigns versus Corbin to a TLC match from the previously advertised tables match, and still includes the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a TLC match for the women's tag titles, and Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a standard match. But WWE obviously has a lot of work to do to fill out the card for this coming Sunday. And your spoilers from Greenville, South Carolina for this week's main event episode. Eric Young defeated No Way Jose. Ricochet defeated Cedric Alexander. Two great talents that should be on the main roster. Raw opens up with the usual intro video. Live from the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. As Vic Joseph welcomes us as the pyro goes off. I've been to Greenville myself, but not for wrestling. Bowling tournament back in the day. Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler is in the ring to open up the show. He's introduced by Mike Rome. Lawler talks about Rusev and Lana saga and says for the first time ever on Raw, he will preside over the signings of a divorce contract. The ring is set up for a usual contract signing. By the way, this is not a divorce contract. This was a match contract that was signed. I agree from what I was looking at and seeing myself. Lawler introduced Lana first, and out she comes with Lawler. With a lawyer. Vic is joined by Samoa Joe on commentary. No Dio Madden again this week. He's been out for almost a month now. Lana in his ring, and he used Rusev Day chant, starts up with the crowd. Lawler reads a distance provision that Lana gave her from Lana's restraining order, but cautions Rusev that all other provisions of the order will be enforced to the fullest extent of the law. Lawler introduces Rusev, and out he comes to a pop. Rusev seems to be in a good mood as they take seats at the table. Lana wants him to know that she used to love him so much when WWE fans hated him and thought he was fat. She loved him over everyone. Lana says Rusev became another statistic like famous people do. as they let it get to their heads. Lana stands up and blames the WWE fans on why their marriage failed. Rusev says she needs to calm down. Lana threatens to have him sent to jail, but she's putting on a really bad performance. Rusev shows us a video on the big screen showing how Lana and Bobby Lashley were arrested last week. Lana goes on and starts crying on her knees. Rusev says, "This is getting ridiculous. Let's get to the point. Let's sign the divorce papers." Fans pop, and a yes chant breaks out from the crowd. Rusev offers to sign first, as he goes to, but she snatches the paper and a pen, and says she will do it first. Lana runs Rusev down and calls him a loser who never comes in first. She says she will get their dog. She will get their dog. Rusev disagrees because it was a gift on his birthday from Lana. They argue over who gets the dog, and Lawler has to calm them down. Lawler signs the divorce papers. Rusev toys with her and doesn't sign. He needs one more thing from her. She goes on ranting about how he probably wants sex and how he's sick, just like the fans. Rusev says no. What he really wants is a match with her hot boyfriend, Lashley. Yeah, he actually said hot, like he turned gay. Rusev goes to speak again, but the music hits and out comes Lashley to the ring. Lashley says, "This is ridiculous," himself. He's tired of Rusev trying to make jokes of he and his Lana. Lashley says, after this ridiculous divorce is over, he's going to ask Lana to marry him. Rusev says she is all his. He doesn't care because Lana is just bad. Rusev taunts some more as Lashley goes to fight, but Lana gets in between them. Rusev says he'll sign this and he'll see Lashley on any day, any kind of match. Rusev signs, and Lashley slams his head into the table. The brawl spills out to the floor as Lashley takes the skull, sending Rusev into the barrier. Lana claps and smiles from the ring. Lashley brings him back in the ring, but Rusev blocks him with a kick. Lana isn't happy now as Rusev grabs Lashley and slams him through the table that was in the ring. Lana is furious and upset. Rusev is also fired up. Rusev exits the ring as the music plays. Lana kicks on Lashley in this segment. We see how the Authors of Pain attacked Kevin Owens last week, dragging him away. Owens will speak tonight. We go back to commercial. Back to the break. Charlie Caruso welcomes Kevin Owens backstage. She asked if he's figured out why he was attacked by AOP last week. Owens says they attacked him because Seth Rollins told them to. He can deny it all he wants, but AOP is doing dirty work for Rollins. Owens recalls how he wouldn't follow Rollins and told him in his face that he's full of crap. Owens goes on and says he's lucky he got away last week, which will be a problem for AOP tonight. Owens excuses himself and walks off to look for a common wrestler. He stops by U.S. champion Rey Mysterio and they embrace. Owens says he's doing good, but will be better when he finds AOP. Rey lets Owens know he has his back if needed. Owens says thanks, but he doesn't want Rey getting involved. Rey gives Owens his steel pipe instead. Well, I told you I did have something for you. This pipe. Owens thanks him, and he walks off with the pipe. Matt Hardy versus Drew McIntyre, your first match of the night. We go to the ring for your opening match. Now, first comes Hardy. McIntyre was out next. Drew takes the mic on the way to the ring and says, "This show has started a little depressing." McIntyre has some positive news. He talks about how Matt Hardy's wife gave birth to their third son last week. Drew, here's the baby is cross-eyed, but at least that proves Matt is the father. Drew says, all jokes aside, Matt has been successful in the ring, but not really outside of it. So maybe it's not the best thing if he reproduces. Drew says he's a good guy, so he's going to give Matt and his family an opportunity. He can walk out of the ring right now. With his tail between his legs, to fight another day. Matt suddenly attacks Drew. As he's speaking, Matt unloads and sends Drew to the floor. Matt looks on for the ring as we go to commercial. Back to the right, the bell rings and Matt charges with strikes. Matt unloads in the corner, but Drew misses the bulldog. Matt clotheslines Drew over the top rope to the floor. Drew blocks the twist of fate on the floor. It shows Matt into the steel ring steps. Drew brings Matt back in the ring. Drew works Matt over, but runs into the ring post as he charges in the corner. Matt comes right back with a side effect on Drew for a 2 count. Matt calls for a delete chant, but Drew blocks the twist of fate once again. Drew slides out of a pin and hits the future shock DDT out of nowhere. Then Drew hits corner and waits for Matt to get back up. And Drew delivers a Claymore kick for the pin and the win. After the match, Drew Santal's music plays. We got a replay. Still to come segment. Rey Mysterio defends his title against AJ Styles. Which is your main event? I believe. No. Actually, yes. We see Charlotte Flair's handicap match loss to Kabuki Warriors last week. We see footage from earlier in the day where Flair and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch were backstage. Flair told Becky she didn't like her, but even more, she doesn't like Asuka and Kairi Sane. Flair asked if Becky wants to beat Becky 2 belts once again. Becky indicated a handicap match against the Chutes for tonight, and would rather take them on by herself. Flair wished her good luck and walks off. Back to commercial. Back to the right, Kevin Owens is walking around looking for AOP again backstage. He asks a few WWE employees and then Mojo. Mojo tries to send him into a different direction and laughs at him. Owens delivers a huge slap to the face and mocks Mojo as Owens walks off in the segment. Next match, we got Raw Tag Team Title match. Street Profits versus Viking Raiders. We go to the ring and Raw Tag Team Champions and Viking Raiders come out first. Ivar and Eric. The Vikings take the mic and say they've been searching for worthy challengers for weeks, but they just keep finding victims. This is why they're using an open challenge to any tag team who thinks that they can take the gold. Now let the raid begin. The music hits and out comes the Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Ford and Dawkins enter the ringside area from the ring and pose as the music plays. Eric and Ivar stare them down by commercial. Back for the break, Eric starts off with Ford. Eric flies up, but misses. Ford tags in for Dawson double team. Ford flies out to the floor and takes Ivar down. Ford ends up tagging back in and flying off the top for a closed top on Eric, but Ivar broke up the pin just in time. Ford and Dawkins go for the big double team, but it backfired. Ivar takes back in and flattens Ford. Ford and Ivar take the stalemate now. Ford shows some offense, and Ivar drops him. It'll be a big kick for a 2 count. Dawkins tags back in and rocks Eric off the apron. Dawkins and Ivar go at it. Dawkins overpowers and slams Ivar for a 2 count. Dawkins tags in. Ford and do a double team. Ivar, they go to double team Ivar, but he takes them down. Eric tags back in, and they double team the challengers. Well, this I don't think it was even announced, but you still got a match. Ivar takes back. Okay. Eric tags back in, and they double team the challengers. Ivar tags back in, and they send Dawkins out. They go and hit the Ford with a big double team Viking experience for the pin and the win to retain. After the match, Ivar and Eric stand tall and raise their titles as the music plays. Dawkins enters the ring to help Ford up. We get a show of respect between the two teams. Seth Rollins' music hits, now he comes. Marching to the ring, Rollins says that he hates to interrupt like this, but there's something he has to take care of. He says they're all welcome to stay out there tonight. While he does it, the Street Profits leave first. Vikings are out next, staring at Rollins on the way down. Rollins says he has an unfinished business with AOP. He doesn't give a damn, and if he has a broken hand, or if it's a 2-on-1, and he wants to fight AOP right now. Mrs. Kid, out comes KO, finally, to start the match. Instead of walking to the left pipe, Owens enters the ring, and Rollins says this is between AOP, he and AOP. But if Orton wants to have a fight, how fine. Okay. Alright, after the match, they stand tall, raise their towels, and music hits. Dawkins enters the ring to help pour it up. Gonna show a respect between the two teams. Seth's music hit, out he comes, marching to the ring. Rollins says he hates to interrupt like this, but there's something he has to take care of. He says they're all welcome to stay out here while he does. Street Profits leave first, Vikings are out next. Staring at Rollins on the way down and out, Rollins says he has unfinished business with AOP. He doesn't give a dang about if he has a broken hand or if it's a 2-on-1. He wants to fight AOP right now. Music hits and out comes Kevin Owens instead. Walking with Elias. Owens enters the ring and Rollins says this is between he and AOP. But if Owens wants to have a talk, that's fine. Just without the pipe. Owens says this pipe isn't for him, yet it's for AOP. Owens says Rollins knows AOP isn't here. He asks Rollins when they will be here, so there can be 3 of them can beat Owens down. Rollins insists that he has no association with him. The big screen shows AOP arriving backstage. Akama Rezar enters the area as we go to commercial. Back to the break. Rollins warns Owens that AOP is about to come kick his butt, and Rollins has no association with him. Owens goes on, and Rollins finally leaves the ring and heads to the back. He has no part in this. Owens stands tall in the ring with the pipe and tells AOP he's ready to do this. Akama Rezar appear on the big screen instead, speaking in their native languages again, which is Spanish. To us, it's Greek. As the fans give them what treatment, Owens mocks them and just wants them to come to the ring, preferably one at a time, to fight. Which means out comes Sami Zayn with a Mojo Rawley instead. Sami knows everyone is surprised to see him here because he's a SmackDown superstar, but he was able to get a managerial license that gives him some freedom to go back and forth on Raw and SmackDown. Sami says Owens knows him best and knows he's not a manager, he's a liberator. He sets people free. Sami and Mojo are in the ring now, staring Owens down. Sami says the slap to Mojo's face in the back was too far, and Owens humiliated Mojo. Fans cheer, and Sami calls them idiots. Sami can't help Owens until he first admits he was wrong in front of all these people. Sami asks Owens if it will do to apologize to Mojo. Fans boo. Mojo yells at Owens to look at Sami when he's talking to him. Mojo isn't going to let Owens disrespect Sami too. Sami warns Mojo not to be so loud and take that tone with Owens when he has that look in his eyes and the pipe in his hands. Mojo taunts Owens some more. Owens tosses the pipe to Mojo and hits the stunner on him when he catches it. Sami looks shocked as he exits the ring. Owens nails Mojo with a pipe several times while he's down. Sammy cringes on the ramp. Referees run down to check on Mojo at ringside. We go back to commercial as Owens standing tall in the ring. Back for the break, we see Kevin Owens hunting AOP backstage. Alistair Black versus Akira Tozawa. We go to the ring. Out first comes Alistair Black. Black versus Murphy is confirmed for TLC. We get a backstage video of Murphy talking about how he's better than Black and will prove that on Sunday. Akira Tozawa is out next. Bell rings and Black stares Tozawa down before they lock up and go at it. They're trading holds back and forth for a few minutes. Back with a big arm drag. Tozawa yells out. Tozawa misses a black mat. The Black Master takes a seat in the middle of the ring. Taking him down. Black blocks a kick and unloads with strikes of his own. Tozawa rocks Black with an elbow. Black catches Tozawa, but Tozawa touches him with head scissors, taking him out of the ring. Tozawa runs the ropes, goes to fly, but Black catches him with a jumping knee at the apron. Hits him right in the chest. Tozawa lands hard on the outside. Black brings him back in and stalks him. Tozawa gets up, but Black puts him right back down with a Black mass kick. Covers him for the pin and the win. After the match, Black sits up as the music hits. We go to replays. Charlie's backstage with a video package from Humberto Carrillo. Caruso is about to interview Carrillo when Zelina Vega comes up. Carrillo goes to let her speak first, but Andrade runs up and he's not happy. He runs Carrillo down in Spanish Fly. It looks like they will wrestle tonight. Andrade storms off. Back for the break. Liv Morgan makeover is coming soon to Raw. Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. We got a ring out first. Comes Andrade with Zelina Vega. Humberto was out last for himself. The bell rings and Andrade immediately attacks. Andrade unloads and stomps while Carlito is down. As Vega looks on, Carrillo counters but gets hit with a huge back drop for a 2 count. Andrade keeps control and nails a big drop kick. Andrade more offense and a shot to the corner. Carrillo finally hits a big crossbody from the top for a pop. Vega looks concerned as Carrillo sends Andrade out of the ring with a big arm drag. Fans continue cheering on Carrillo as he leaps to the top and hits a big moonsault to the floor, taking Andrade down on the outside. We go commercial with Carrillo in control. Back to the break, and they go out in the ring. Carrillo with a big high crossbody. The tangle of Carrillo drops Andrade with a big kick to the face. Carrillo runs into a moonsault, but Andrade kicks out just in time. Vega is relieved at ringside. Carrillo keeps control and takes it to the corner with big strikes. Carrillo takes Andrade down with a back to the top, but Andrade turns him upside down for the Tree of Woe. Andrade with a big double stomp in the Tree of Woe. Carrillo still kicks out of 2. Vega can't believe it. Fans cheer Carrillo as Andrade stomps away on him in the commercial. Andrade charges in the ring for a double team, but Carrillo moves and Andrade is hit. Hits hard. Carrillo goes right to the top and nails a missile drop kick. Carrillo botches the atomic press, or Aztec press, in the corner, and Andrade kicks out of 2. Vega barks orders as they both try to get up. The trade holds. Carrillo rocks Andrade and avoids the back elbow. Andrade dodges big kicks and drops Carrillo stiff back elbow for a 2 count. Andrade can't believe he kicks out of that now. Andrade drags Carrillo over and goes back to the top. Andrade moonsaults but can't land on his feet. He's followed up with a double team in the corner. As Carrillo comes back with a big drop kick in the corner. And Andrade can't believe Carrillo's shoulders were up. Vega gets on the apron to provide a distraction. Andrade charges, but Carrillo moved. Andrade collided with Vega and knocked her off the apron to the floor. Andrade is shocked. Carrillo comes from behind and rolls up Andrade for the pin and the win. After the match, Carrillo makes his exit as the music hits. We go to replays. Vega enters the ring where Andrade is. Carrillo watches from the stage versus as Andrade yells at Vega about this being her problem. Vega screams back at him. Andrade and Vega continue yelling at each other. Rey Mysterio is backstage. Rey says the United States title means everything to him, and if AJ is man enough to beat him, he will be the first to congratulate him and shake his hand. Rey promises he will do anything in his power to prove to everyone that he is worthy of being called Rey Mysterio and still the U.S. champion. Rey walks off as we go to commercial. Back to commercial. Back for the break. We get a plug from the second Broken Skull Sessions episode with WWE Hall of Famer Steve Austin and Bill Goldberg. Kevin Owens backstage looking for AOP again, still carrying a pipe. One WWE employee tells Owens he just saw AOP heading into their van outside. Owens thanks him and walks off. And you know, it's boo-hoos and what have you. Back for the break, we get a plug for the... Okay, already said that. Kevin Owens backstage looking for AOP. Next match, you got Buddy Murphy and Zack Ryder. Still carrying the pipe. WWE employee tells Owens that he just saw AOP heading into the van outside. Owens thanks him and walks off. Buddy Murphy versus Zack Ryder. We go to the ring, and Zack Ryder waits as Buddy Murphy makes his way to the ring. Kurt Hawkins on the outside to support Ryder. We get a pre-recorded message with Alex Trebek sending warning to Murphy ahead of their match at TLC on Sunday. The bell rings and they knock up. Murphy fights Ryder off and into the corner. Murphy runs into a big kick, but pulls Ryder to the mat and covers for a 2 count. Murphy works Ryder over while he's down as Hawkins cheers his tag team partner on. Ryder looks to make a comeback. Ryder counters and slams Murphy face first into the mat. Ryder connects with a big drop kick. Ryder with a right hand in the corner and then a big broski boot. Knocking Murphy out of the ring to the floor. Murphy drops Hawkins with a big knee chop to the face. Ryder responds by sending Murphy into the barrier with a kick from the ring. Ryder brings him back in the ring, but Murphy connects with a jumping knee to the face. Murphy goes on and hits Murphy's Law on Ryder for the pin and the win. After the match, Murphy makes his exit as his music hits. We go to replays. Still to come segment, Kabuki Warriors versus Mickey Lance in a 2-on-1 handicap match. We see Kevin Owens hunting AOP in the backstage area like he's Elmer Fudd. I'm hunting Rabbit. I'm hunting AOP. He approaches the front of their van, pipe in his hand. Owens starts smashing in the windshield and the side windows and mirrors with the pipe, yelling at the common runs to come back out. When he goes on destroying the van with a pipe. He beats open the back door and we see someone sitting in there. Owens goes to grab the person, but that's when the Author of Pain attack him from behind. The common runner beat down Owens and send him crashing into the debris in the back. They slam Owens' head into the back door as it breaks and also goes down. Razor yells at the person in the van and they turn around, removing their hood to reveal Seth Rollins. Rollins exits the van, apologizes to Owens that had to come to this. Rollins delivers a big stomp to Owens on the concrete. Rollins hands over Owens in between common Razor. He looks at them and they walk off together. Go back to commercial. Back to the break, we see what just happened to Kevin Owens. We go backstage. We go to the stage. Out comes Seth Rollins with a microphone. Rollins asks the fans what they want from him. He's been asking himself that for a long time now. Rollins and the fans used to get along, used to see things eye to eye, but somewhere it went wrong, and he's trying to figure out why. Rollins goes on about doing everything right. not taking nights off, fighting through injuries, laying it all on line every time he gets in the WWE ring. Fans boo as Rollins goes on about sticking his neck out in the arena, and in the media, Rollins sticks his neck on the line and just gets yelled at and spit on. He's sick of it. Rollins didn't have anything to do with AOP, and that was the truth. But once again, the truth isn't good enough. Rollins goes on ranting about he's all done the fans a favor. And how it wasn't enough, Rollins goes on and says he's standing with the common brother because they understand. The music hits and out they come to join him on the stage. Rollins looks at him and smiles. He hands him a microphone and walks off to the back. Then they said brief little segment. 2-on-1 handicap match, Kabuki Warriors versus Becky Lynch. We go to ring for tonight's 2-on-1 handicap match as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch makes her way out. Pyro goes off as she heads down the ramp for the non-title match. WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, the Kabuki Warriors are out next. Asuka and Kairi Sane. Asuka starts off with Becky as the bell rings. Becky rocks Asuka with a right hand and takes her to the corner, stopping away as the referee warns her. Asuka sends Becky to a corner but misses with strikes. Becky comes back with a big suplex, sending Asuka to the floor for a breather. Sane comes over to guard Asuka and talks trash to Lynch as fan chant for the man. Asuka goes back down on the floor. Lynch is distracted again. Turns around to Asuka, rocking her as back in the ring. Asuka works Lynch over and beats her down off of a cheap shot. Asuka puts boots to Lynch in the corner. Asuka with a running hip attack in the corner. Asuka with strikes and a takedown out of the corner. Asuka kicks Lynch in the back and covers for a close to count by the commercial. Back for the break. Sane has Lynch grounded in the middle of the ring. Lynch looks to make a comeback with a right hand off the ropes. So Sane kicks Lynch away and tags in Asuka. Asuka charges, but Lynch sends her to the floor. Lynch drop kicks Asuka off the apron and to the floor. Lynch comes back and unloads with a clothesline and strikes at both opponents, making a comeback as fans cheer her on. Lynch works on Sane in the corner, but Asuka delivers knees to the back. Lynch fights her off and hits Sane with a big exploder out of the corner. Lynch continues to fight them off of both of them, hitting a double inverted DDT for a 2 count on Sane. Lynch goes up top. Sane rocks her and slams her to the mat. Sane screams and works and drops an elbow. Sane goes to the top, but now, as Asuka tags in, Sane misses an insane elbow on Lynch. Asuka comes in, but Lynch gets the upper hand and nails the big exploder. Bar back and forth. And let's makes it to the top rope and delivers a leg drop as Asuka moves. Asuka with an Asuka lock on Lynch. Now, Lynch gets to her feet, fights Asuka off. Lynch uses the Asuka lock on Asuka now. Sane drags Asuka to the floor to break Asuka's own hold on her. Sane rolls Asuka back in and grabs Becky on the outside. Becky counters and sends Sane flying into the barrier. Lynch sweeps Asuka on the apron and she lands face first. Lynch jumps off the apron, but Asuka catches her with a knee to the face on the way down. All three superstars are down on the floor. Now as the referee counts, Asuka comes back in. Sane holds Lynch's leg as the referee counts. Lynch kicks her away and makes it back in at 9 count. Asuka meets Lynch with a shining wizard for another 2 count. Asuka and Lynch fight up from their knees. More back and forth between the two. Sane comes in and levels Lynch in the corner. Asuka lifts Lynch on her shoulders and Sane goes up top for the big double team. Sane clips Lynch off of Asuka's shoulders, but Lynch kicks out just in time. Sane screams in frustration. Sane drags Lynch back to the corner and goes to the top as some fans rally for Lynch. Sane goes for the insane elbow, but Lynch barely gets her feet up Lynch goes into the disarmor on Sane, but Asuka breaks it up. Lynch slams Asuka, sending her out to the floor. Lynch with a submission on Sane again, but Asuka pulls her to the floor to safety. Fans boo the champion. Lynch goes to the floor and drops Asuka against the barrier. She goes for Sane, but Asuka nails her from behind. Argues. Asuka brings in a steel chair over and nails Lynch in the gut with it for the disqualification as the referee calls for the match. Winner by DQ, Becky Lynch. Extra belt, Asuka delivers a few more chair shots as Lynch is forced back down. Lynch and Asuka stand up. A table at ringside. Sane and Asuka set up a table at ringside. They position Lynch onto it. As Sane goes up top, delivers a insane elbow through the table on Lynch. Sane and Asuka stand tall as officials check on Lynch and let them go away. We get replays on the huge elbow through the table. Sane and Asuka head up the ramp with the titles as fans boo. They celebrate with the titles on the stage as Lynch looks on from ringside. OC's backstage. AJ says it's time for the OC business. He puts over Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and says sooner than later they will take the Raw Tag Team titles from the Viking Raiders and they will celebrate with the WWE US Champion because AJ is beating Rey Mysterio tonight. AJ says if Randy Orton wants to stick his nose in OC's business again, they won't just hurt Orton for tonight or tomorrow. Maybe they will end his career forever. Or back to commercial. Back for the break, we get a paid for by the NWO announcement on their 2020 Hall of Fame induction. They mentioned Batista's induction earlier. Charlotte Flair was in the training room with Becky Lynch while she's getting iced up. Lynch is defiant and Flair walks out of the room. Flair is walking up the hallway when she's attacked from behind by Asuka and Kairi Sane. They have a steel chair and beat Flair down in the hallway. Next match, Eric Rowan versus an enhancement talent. We go to the ring. Out comes Eric as an enhancement talent who was not identified. Waits in the ring. Rowan is carrying his covered pet cage to the ring once again. The bell rings and the jobber is terrified. He immediately runs out of the ring, grabs the pet cage and runs with it to the top of the stage. As Eric didn't even notice it for a few minutes. He set the cage down and runs back to the ring as Rowan just runs to the stage. The jobber is in the ring. As he runs around the audience back in the ring, thinking he's going to get a count-out victory. Rowan checks on his pet and runs back to the ring before the 10 count. Rowan misses the clothesline, but comes right back with a crossbody. Rowan yells at the guy and delivers a big iron claw slam in the middle of the ring, and then delivers 2 more iron claw slams as the referee yells at him and orders him to get out of the ring. Rowan goes back to the stage to check on his pet, promising that he took care of the jobber. Charlie backstage and stops to talk to the Kabuki Warriors and asks them what's next for them after that dominant showing. They challenge Charlotte and Becky Lynch to challenge them for a match at TLC. They walk off, go back to commercial. Back for the break, we see Charlotte and Becky in the trainer's room. Now they're willing to team together and fight the Kabuki Warriors, but they want a TLC match at the TLC pay-per-view. We cut to a Monday after the weekend update from that CNL style segment with the Street Profits. They confirm Flair and Lynch versus Sane and Asuka at TLC in a TLC match for the tag titles. They crack jokes on Asuka's green mist next. They talk about the Miz versus Universal Champion Bray Wyatt, joking that USA Network is giving The Fiend and Abby the Witch a Miz and Mrs. style show. They also confirm a tables match between Rusev and Bobby Lashley for Sunday. They talk about King Corbin versus Roman Reigns at TLC. They do some more comedy and promise TLC will be off the chain this Sunday. They go on and remind us that they all want to smoke. One of them says yes, and one of them says no. I say no, we don't want to smoke. U.S. title match, AJ versus Rey Mysterio. for your main event. Go to the ring for the main event, and AJ makes his way out first. U.S. champion Rey Mysterio was out next. He greets fans at ringside, slapping their hands as he comes to the ring. Back to commercial. Back from the break, bell rings as they go at it to start. They go to the mat, trade holds. AJ with quick two pin attempts. They trade more close pin attempts and counters on the mat. We get a stalemate after another brief but intense exchange. AJ grabs Rey and sends him shoulder first into the corner. Going down to the mat, AJ slingshots Rey into the turnbuckle. Then again into the opposite turnbuckle. AJ slingshots Rey into another counter, but he counters with the ropes and rolls AJ up for a 2 count. Rey hits the ropes, but AJ aggressively knocks him right to the mat and talks some trash. AJ keeps Rey grounded, putting a knee to the back. Fan chart rallying for Rey. Rey fights up and out. AJ grabs his back, but Rey sends him flying through the ropes to the floor with Rey getting a drop kick through the ropes to send AJ back to the floor. Rey goes on and does a big moonsault from the ropes to the floor. Rey kicks AJ and rolls him back in as Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson come down to get involved in the match. AJ takes advantage of the distraction and rocks Rey at the ropes. AJ sends Rey face first into the ring post as he goes down. Back to commercial. Back for the ring. Rey is fighting AJ off in the middle of the ring. Rey flies off the springboard, but AJ catches him in midair with a big drop kick for a close 2 count. AJ launches Rey under the bottom rope, back to the floor. As Gallows and Anderson look on, talking trash, referee counts on Rey as AJ stands tall in the ring. Rey makes it back in right before the 10 count. AJ works Rey over in the corners, but misses a flying shot. Rey keeps flying and knocks AJ out to the floor. Rey leaps through the ropes and hits his unique sunset powerbomb into the barrier. Hitting the back of AJ's head on the barrier, Joe calls it a sunset flip wall bomb. The referee counts both competitors as they struggle to get up. Both make it back in at 9. Fans start rallying again as they get up and trade strikes in the middle of the ring. Rey with a big hit to the takedown. AJ sends Rey to the apron, but he fights and springboards in with the plancha. Rey drops a leg and covers for a 2 count. Rey goes on for another springboard moonsault, but AJ catches him. Rey counters and turns that into a big DDT for another 2 count. Rey then rocks AJ in the corner again, and they tangle. AJ runs into a boot. AJ counters and drops Rey face first into the mat. Gallows and Anderson yell in from ringside. Rey goes on and drops AJ into position for the 619 with an enziguri. Fans pop as Rey runs the ropes, but Gallows sacrifices himself on the 619. Rey takes out Anderson, but AJ takes advantage and drops Rey's neck over his knee. Rey still kicks out at 2. AJ goes to the top, but Rey cuts him off. Rey climbs up for the Hurricanrana, but AJ tries to turn it into the Styles Clash, but botches and lands bad. Styles regroups and hits the Styles Clash. AJ goes for the pin, but Randy Orton slides into the ring out of nowhere. Stops, smiles, winks at AJ, preventing him from going for the pin. AJ regroups and goes for the Styles Clash again, but Rey turns it into a roll-up for the win out of nowhere. A roll-up out of nowhere for the win. As Raw abruptly goes off the air, as the bell hits, it goes ding, and that concludes your Raw. As Rey was exiting the ring to begin the celebration, that was really weird ending as the show went off the air. Due to timing, it went off right at 9 o'clock on the dot. Episode went off the air as soon as at 10 p.m. Central Time. As soon as Rey pinned AJ to retain the U.S. title. The show credits came up before the finish, which you only seen a little logo, and that was it. As finishing the match, and the announcers were still speaking when the show went off the air. WWE apparently went short on time when Styles Clash was botched out of the corner, and they redid the Styles Clash on the mat. The timing issue likely was caused by the redo. You can see a clip of this link from a fan, along with WWE's video that shows Randy Orton backing up the ramp after his interference. And what happened after Raw, the dark match, went off the air. Fans in attendance got to see a little more action that didn't air on the broadcast. After the show went off the air, AJ ended up facing Rey Mysterio in a rematch. For the U.S. Championship, OC quickly jumped in and attacked Rey during the match. This led to Humberto Carrillo coming out and trying to help Rey. Eventually, Randy Orton came down to the ring and hit the RKO on Styles to send the crowd home happy. And a video link of that. And that will conclude my dark match results for After All. And I'll also conclude my video for this week. Peace out. See you want to be. If you don't know, just call me Brother Scissors. And that'll be the day when I die.